I had all these internal processes like Rachel comes up, I have to say her, shh, this is not your place, quiet. From you enter the place, you enter the gate man says, good morning, vanakamma. Jajama vanga means Jajama, please come. So you're set, already set. You can't, your walk changes. To talk about myself, my walk changed when I entered the room. But the first scene when Rachel was still there inside, you know what happened? As it was a sing sound, my heart went dub 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 dub, and they got it in the recording as well. That was the scene where I cried a lot after the cut. I broke into tears. After he said cut, I broke, and I know that she cannot cry. Of course, she cannot cry. Then it'll be a personal connection, because when you do multiple work, we go back just for that things, because you need to internally cleanse, heal, evolve. Few things are happening internally, and that we call as passion, right? This particular movie, I feel it satisfy everybody. You want to you watch it visually, just enjoy, yes, you can. You want entertainment? Yes, it has. You want engaging drama? Yes, it has. You want some spiritual experience? Yes, it has. You want deeper meaning of life? Yes, it has. Whatever you want, in all layers, it satisfies all of it.
Hello everyone, welcome to Filmmaking. We hope most of you have watched the recent Tamil drama Kadaisi Vivasayi by now. It is streaming on Sony Liv. If you haven't watched it yet, do yourself a favor and watch this gem of a movie. We also have a video essay on the movie that we immensely love, which you can check out too on the channel. And today, we have Dr.Raichal Rabecca Phillip joining us for a discussion, who plays a key role as a district judge in Kadaisi Vivasayi. Otherwise well known for her practice in Ayurveda medicine, Dr. Raichal has also worked in 2 other movies before Kadaisi Vivasayi. We are extremely thrilled to have this discussion with her today. Raichal, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope we have a great discussion.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.
Raichal, my first question to you is, it's a very obvious one. So how did you land up in this movie, Kadaisi Vivasayi, and how did the casting for it happen?
Okay. Firstly, I knew director Manikandan long before the movie itself, and we met for a few other things. And later, I told him that I am interested in movies and I'm trying to become an actor and I'm searching for opportunities and all. And he said, "Yeah, I'll see." After 3 years or 4 years, then he called me up and said, "There's one role, a magistrate role, and it would be good if you do it. You will really." I believe that you will do it. And I said, I was really excited to hear it from the director. So I said, I literally jumped into it. No second thoughts at all, no second questions at all. Then how we did the auditions was very new for me. Firstly, he was in Usilampatti, where we shot the movie.
Yes.
From there, he spoke to me. Then what happened was he asked me for a few videos shot at my home, on few scenes which were actually cut. I was talking about the magistrate would talk about land previously before the Maya and Tata's case. The magistrate would deal another case, which will deal about a land. That you'll see few shots of it in the court.
Yes.
Yeah. So that scene, I performed it at home and I sent it through WhatsApp. He saw it. And after a few days, again, he asked me to perform it and send. And then I did. And later, he called me for auditions to test, like the screen test, actually, with all the costumes on and all, to Usilampatti. So I went there. Once we had the testing shoot and all done, I thought it would be like, I didn't expect it to be, I didn't know what to expect out of the movie, first of all, because I know only the director. I didn't know the story. I didn't even ask him at all, and I was curious, and I was very happy that I was into the movie. So what we did was, the first day, what we call as puja Tamil here, they did in Usilampatti, in a small marriage hall with a lot of people. of that place who are all going to act in the movie, who are all part of the movie were there. So there we had kada vittu virundu, you know. We'll be served with good South Indian food.
Okay.
After praying, after doing the puja, we started the movie like that.
It's like a bhog. In here we call it bhog. So it's
Okay,
similar. Yeah.
okay.
And by that time, you knew that Vijay Sethupathi is also a part of the cast, and he's also doing the production.
Yeah, I know that he's part of the cast. I know. I did not ask the director because I didn't know what to ask the director. Firstly, I was very keen and very open for whatever he's saying. I was just very observant. I had all these internal processes. Like Rachel comes up, I have to say her, shh, this is not your place. Quiet. I just have to be open, listen to whatever he says. The director himself, he know what he's doing. You must have known through his films.
Yes.
So he know what exactly to look for. So it all just flew.
And we cannot thank him enough for casting him in that role, because he was so good in that role. And
Thank
you know,
you.
this is a film about farming and so much of how our farmers are coping with so many problems. But this film also comes across about that basic human compassion that we are lacking today. And you kind of become the face of that compassion. The way the judge, within the boundaries of the law, not transcending the boundaries, and yet doing that extra bit to take care of Mandy. So that was so fascinating. So when this role was explained to you, you were told this is how the arc of the character will be. So was there any particular kind of preparation that went from your side for this role?
I'll tell you about the preparation for the movie. It's going to be really interesting. You know what? There's no preparation outside of the movie because the set is typically set as the courtroom, which is seen in the Uslampati real court, has been completely set. And the people, the co-artists who've been acting in the movie, they really believed whatever they were doing was truth.
Okay.
So, you know what? By 6 o'clock, I'll be picked up from my room to the spot. I'll wear a sari, I'll get ready and come. On the spot, they'll come from many other villages around, not only Uslampati people. They did casting around 120 villages, and around 120 villages, I think. They went all around in search of all the characters. So, people would be picked up from their places, they'll be dropped in the set. So everybody are waiting there. When I enter, from the person who stands in the gate, he'll just salute me, good morning, madam. Good morning, madam. You feel that you're going to a job and you're a judge, that is a court, and you have work to do. Nothing else would be there in your mind, because that is the preparation. Whole preparation is the place, the set, and everything. And you won't hear any of unnecessary sounds anywhere in the set, as it was live recorded. It was sync sound. So almost 3-4 kilometers in and around, no sounds at all. So from you enter the place, you enter the gate man says, good morning, vanakamma, judgama vanga, means judgama, please come. So you're already set. Your walk changes. To talk about myself, my walk changed when I enter the room. I'll sit very casually in the car before I go to the set. Once I go there, people in police costumes, and one inspector who was the inspector in the movie, he was really a policeman. He was retired when he did the movie. So he treated me completely as a magistrate. People around him knew him that he was police, and with his dress put on, he behaves just like one, because he's very used to it, and he behaves just like one. Other people around, automatically your mindset goes as a person who sees a person from the law institution, so you cannot mess up with them. People around them used to follow him. how he treats me, how he respects me, other people would do that.
Right.
That's very interesting.
Right.
So that's how we all prepare.
And you talked about the live recording thing, and there was no dubbing as it's conventionally at the end of the movie. So was it more difficult for you? Do you have to be more careful or do something else other than like which happens in normal movies, or was it okay for you in general?
Yeah, it was. I really liked it. One thing I usually feel in sync sound, in sync sound, that this was the first experience for me in sync sound. It was really very easy for me to be there, do that, because there I am that completely that. When I come to a dubbing studio later, I have to create that mood. I can get into it like any other actor does. But the point is, it becomes more lively when it is there. That's what I felt. I felt totally. I love the sing sound.
Right. So this atmosphere you are talking about would be very difficult to recreate once more in the studio.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I understand, like I remember this scene where you are kind of admonishing the policeman saying, so this is the person you think who killed the peacocks, that command. So that all came from this atmosphere that was created around you.
Of course, of course, of course. Because um, everybody will only behave. There were no actors to say because cameras were there, but somehow we were all set in the mind by the director that you're not going to act, you're just going to behave. Somehow he set all the mood for all of us. So we were completely set. You know what, how he'll explain the scene, he'll come near me and say that man, he's fought with his brother, he broke his head just for a piece of land. This is how people are living. What to do? He'll just talk about the character to the judge, not to Rachel. There, almost Rachel is out. He'll send Rachel out at ease. He'll just install the magistrate. So the communication to the magistrate will happen. So only the magistrate can receive it. That will be exhibited, of course, very easily, without effortlessly. That is how it happened. But the first scene when Rachel was still there inside, you know what happened? As it was a sync sound, my heart went dub 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 dub, and they got it in the recording as well.
Oh, is it? Okay. And did he follow the same for the villagers who were a part of the film? Like he told them also, this is actually a court processing happened, something like that?
Yes, similar to that, because he would say to that person, like small little magistrate who's very younger, she is talking so many rights in front of you. She says this is right, this is wrong. She is advising you. How are you going to? What I mean, this is your place. This is your stand. This is where you're standing right now. So that will actually bring out the real emotion from a person, because what I believe as an actor is, I feel all the characters are inside. We don't have to do something else to bring out the new character in us. Everything, I am even you and everybody, how, if not, how do we connect with each other? All of us are very connected. The movie connects all of us. How does that magic happens? Because as an actor, I believe every character, everything is me and inside me. So when the right stroke happens, when the right happens on that particular person, he would perform. He would behave, not even perform. He would live. So there wouldn't be any other gimmicks that is needed. Of course, yes, aesthetically we need to do a lot of it. I don't call it a gimmick because it is all needed for whatever the character is. So, but the internal process, director brings out it at ease, at ease. He talks to every individual person because no sounds in the set. No sounds in the set. He goes directly to the individuals, every single person, and he talks to him about what they have to do, what is happening there, than what they have to do. That will be little guided, just guided. Otherwise, it will take its own flow.
Right.
I mean, we were anyway amazed by the film, but now that I hear that this was the kind of process which went behind, it kind of overwhelms all the more. And I wanted to talk about that scene in the end, which I think I'm getting my answer now. In the end, where the scene is there, where Mandy is lying and everyone is worried around what has happened to him. First time I watched the movie, I was worried and I was looking into, what will happen next? Is he waking up and how does the movie end? And then second time, when I knew that, this is what is going to happen, I was just struck by your performance there, because it kind of felt, I felt a lump on my throat, because I was feeling, you were on the verge of crying. You were like going ahead a few steps and then coming back. It was amazing. It was amazing, the way that scene was shot and the way you performed. If you could just talk about that experience of that scene.
Sure. That was the scene where I cried a lot after the cut. I broke into tears. After he said cut, I broke, because you don't hear cut or you don't hear action, cut wouldn't be there in his sets. It'll be like action, cut. He'll just say that, because you cannot disturb a person who is in that mood. He'll just maintain it. He'll say just cut. After a few minutes, I started breaking into tears. I cried a lot, and director came and he pacified me. Everybody in the set were like, oh, because everybody was in that mood. How it was shot was the same thing. Right from the breakfast, I guess. After the breakfast, we were just discussing about this whole thing. The director was saying the situation. He was not explaining me how to behave, what to talk about. He was just saying me the whole situation. We were talking about the situation, about the farmers, about their life, what they face, how they take it, how they go through it, how their life actually is, and how the world wants their life to be. All of it were discussed. And when we get into the scene, we just get to see the basic ideas of the composition of the scene, how it goes and all. After that, when I was standing there, randomly, all kinds of tatas in my life, all kinds of tatas, like grandpas in my life, my tata's tata, and all the farmer tatas, everybody were on my mind. I somehow felt very connected with all of them, and I felt I was the only hope. I was the only hope there. I was able to feel my hope was breaking. My hope literally broke. And you know what? He slept really on that scene. He didn't act. He was really sleeping, because we were shooting few other portions. He was there on the bench. He was really sleeping. After we shot, after the performance, when he woke up, it was it. I didn't do anything extra at all. I didn't really do anything extra at all. Magistrate knows what to do. And Mangayar Karasi was very intelligent person. To feel her internal space, that was the only work needed, to feel the internal space of Mangayar Karasi. That was easily set for me by the director. I didn't do anything at all. So when you feel that space, as you told, it was choking internally. It was choking. And I know that she cannot cry. Of course, she cannot cry. Then it will be a personal connection. She cannot cry.
Very nice. Yeah.
So it was here.
Yes. I felt, we could feel that expression in your face, that, I mean, it was an actor or is the person, it was coming out, that emotion was coming out, and it directly touched all of us.
Yes.
Thank you for that. I love that scene.
Yeah, it is such a beautiful scene. And there is also, when you are taking him to the field, there is this one scene, you look at him. They're so beautiful scenes, they always, you go back to the film for those scenes. Now you know the story, but you go back and rewatch those scenes. This whole film, it's kind of an experience which makes us understand how those connections are lost in our day-to-day living these days.
Of course. As I was talking about that hope, I would like to include few more points in it. Yeah. What happened to me was, my internal process was, he didn't wake up. Some hope in me was really breaking down. When he suddenly woke up on the set, not with the sound, on the set, when he suddenly woke up, some kind of new hope, which which bloomed after the death of my old hope. So that happened to me. Those kind of processes, internal processes, it's very rare to experience in any work, any kind of work, because when you do multiple work, we go back just for that things, because you need to internally cleanse, heal, evolve. Few things are happening internally, and that we call as passion, right? That was there in the whole story. Everybody present there. Everybody's passion was just tapped like this, and it was out. So new hope, new kind of hope, which I never experienced. Mangayar Karasi gave me that. So that was very important as a person for me to evolve internally.
Really, after you explained it, it actually brings out more emotions. I would like to ask you, like, we have heard that after the shooting was over, you actually visited the town of Usilampatti after the movie. And you also watched the movie together with the villagers. And we wanted to know, how was your overall experience of visiting the place and watching the movie and spending time with the villagers?
Yeah. Usilampatti basically became my home. People there, all the parties there. Parties means grandmas who were acting in the movie. We will all sit and talk together. They named me. They were very confused with my name. They said, Rachel, we are not able to understand that name. So we are going to call you. They were thinking of many names, and they said, we'll call you. They were not even aware of Mangayar Karasi.
Okay.
They said, I will call you Manimegalai. Manimegalai is one name which comes from basic old texts of Tamil. So,
Rachel, sorry to interrupt you once, but just my curiosity is there. Is there a difference in the dialect of like a Chennai and the Usilampatti? Is there a difference in the Tamil you speak, or is it similar?
Of course, no, they are completely different. They're completely different.
Right.
And old people of that area, they just hold on to that kind of slang, and they talk in it. Right. It's very difficult. It was really very difficult for me to understand it then initially. And later it was like, you don't need any language for communication. So communication happens. So that happened there. So what happened was, they named me Manimegalai. They call it a new name. Actually, it is not a new name in Tamil Nadu. It is Sangha Ilakya name, like old name.
Right.
But it was very new for them to call me Manimegalai. They said, we are going to name you Manimegalai, and we are going to call you only that. And all of them, when we were discussing a lot of things with them, they were all just that. They respected the director so much. They wanted the movie to be very good, so hit, blockbuster, and however director wanted it. Whatever, they don't know. They don't really care about anything other than what he wants.
Right.
After every shot, everybody will ask, Tambi, are you okay? And is he okay? Is he happy? That was very important for them to know after all the scenes. So all of it was very inspiring. And one particular scene, when Mayandi Tata is there in the court, and he'll leave to see his land.
Yes.
At that time, those three parties will sit there, and he'll do this. And one party will actually talk to him, saying that judge will come only by 10 o'clock. Now they'll come. That party, when she was acting, when she did the scene, it was around like 9 o'clock or something, I guess. I'm not sure. I was there on the set by 6 o'clock in the morning, because we get ready, all the things will happen. So I was there on the set by 6. After the scene was done, I came out. She saw me and she asked me, where were you all this time? I said, oh, you will come only after 10 o'clock, but it's not 10. Where were you? I said, party. Now they were shooting. It was not real. I came here by 6 o'clock in the morning. They were just shooting. It is not real. And she said, oh, she was okay. Oh, shooting, ah.
Right.
That's so fun. And how did they react when they saw themselves on screen?
Oh, they were all very, 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 very happy. As I have a really good relationship with them, I visited Usilampatti 3 times after the shooting because it was shot on 2018. 2018 August or September, I think the shoot was done. It was almost 90 days shoot plus 90 days plus, I guess, where my portions were around 20-25 days. After that, I was very used to Usilampatti. I was very accepted there as their beloved. So it was very accommodating for me to visit Usilampatti. It's been like I went almost 3-4 times. I went met Nalandi Tata at his home and his wife and son, daughter, and their relatives. It was very happy meeting them all. And after that, before the release, they said they are going to have 3-4 days special show in Usilampatti for all the people of village. So everybody, they came with lot of all pattu sarees, fully ready, like the last festival scene.
Yes, yes.
It was really there on the theater. Everybody enjoyed it. Everybody enjoyed it so much, and I enjoyed it. I loved watching it with them a lot. I was there for 3-4 days with them, watching almost every shows with them, traveling to the nearby villages, seeing shows with them, and I came back.
And it's such a beautiful place. I mean, the whole place looks so stunning. You know, the hills and the forest. It's such a great place.
Yeah.
You did not have one, scene with Vijay Sethupathi, but as one of the persons, one of the face of the film. So how was it collaborating with him? What was that experience?
I was seeing him perform. I had a
It's so
2-3
good.
days break. Yeah. I had a 2-3 days break in between, but director told me that he's going to perform in those 3 days. So I didn't come back to Chennai. I was there, and I was seeing him perform. It was blissful experience to watch him perform. It was really blissful. I saw that scene where he'll fight for the tea.
Yes.
That I was seeing that scene, and there are few other scenes which are not in the movie. I've been witnessing all those scenes when he was doing it, and also saw the scene very closely. That scene.
The scene with the sadhu. Oh, that scene.
Sadhu
I mean, you know what? We were talking about so many. It's a heart-wrenching one. We were talking about so many things in our video essay, but that one we left. We were like, we do not want to explain or analyze this one. This is to be watched and experienced. We cannot tell what it is.
Of course.
Such a marvelous scene.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful one.
He was very ready for whatever director says. He was very receptive. He was fully receptive for whatever he says, and he'll just be the Ramaya. He'll finish the job. Nothing else is needed for him.
And the track itself, kind of a spiritual track which adds up on top of the film, that also elevates the film in a different direction.
Of course, yes. It is very deep psychological character, I feel. The whole movie is very deep, psychologically moving, healing kind of a movie.
Yes.
Where how I see Ramaya is that sadhu scene. After that, I felt very liberated inside when that happened. When I saw it as an audience in the theater on screen, I was liberated from, I don't know from what, but I was liberated. That was kind of experience.
I think you really touched a very important point when you say that this entire film is very psychological and spiritual in nature, that maybe it demands a much deeper viewing than just looking just at the story level.
Of course, yeah. This particular movie, I feel it satisfies everybody. You want to watch it visually, just enjoy. Yes, you can. You want entertainment? Yes, it has. You want engaging drama? Yes, it has. You want some spiritual experience? Yes, it has. You want deeper meaning of life? Yes, it has. Whatever you want, in all layers, it satisfies all of it.
Right, and in this point that you mentioned, about liberating, it's so liberating, the whole movie. I cried when this scene came where the elephant, they were putting a mosquito net for the elephant and they were massaging the elephant. I was like, that kind of is what we expect, for someone who is being there for me, who is being a partner in my work, and who is a companion. So that's what we expect, and which is missing.
Of course, of course.
This movie
And there is
so
one deeper layer to it. What I see is that is his land. His land was serving him food, and he was serving people. That is his land. That is his food. That is his life. He has connected himself, his whole life with the elephant, because it's a symbol of his whole living. That is why I feel it is an elephant and it is so huge.
Also,
Yeah.
the way Mandy, there is this scenes where he is washing his stuff, the utensils, the plants, the cattle. It's like taking care of all those small things that you have in your life, and maybe in our life today, it's so cosmetic that we don't even know all the things we have bought because we have so much. And he has so little, and he's so happy with that and taking care of each of them. So this film talks in so many directions that it was such a blessing as an experience.
Of course, of course. The whole process, the movie making process was very meditative, very meditative. What I mean to say is, when you sit, when I was sitting there as a magistrate, as Mangair Karasi, I don't know when Rachel left. She left. So magistrate was sitting. Before the shot, everybody silence and everything will happen. Later, you know what? The whole concentration of the director to anybody who's working at all levels in the movie, everybody's concentration would be on only that particular shot which is going on, only on that particular shot which is going on. Everybody, like for 3-4 kilometers away, they're holding up all the musics and everything around, because it is a village, but Paka village. They'll have some marriage function, any function. As there were no buildings and no any other obstruction for the sound, long distance sounds, you'll hear it very clearly. All the songs, you'll hear few lines of the songs and suddenly no songs, few lines of the song, suddenly no song. That is how it will be. So they were connected with all of the villages to not play songs. Somehow what I felt internally was, it was like a very meditative state where the whole concentration of all the people in and around was completely on that shot. Only after the shot is over, somebody there can play a music. Until then, everybody's concentration was on the shot. I felt I was very connected with that thought. Oh yeah, this is happening right now. That was very fascinating, and it was really meditative. I felt very connected with the whole everything.
That it was made in this way is the reason we have this kind of an experience.
And Rachel, we have seen so many videos of Miskin appreciating the movie, appreciating your role. As you know, we do not understand Tamil as a language. So could you tell us what was he talking about and what was his views on that? Yeah.
Yeah, he loved the movie. Whenever I met him in person as well, he loved the movie. He was talking about the movie so much. And he said, the whole movie looks like a beautiful girl. And you are that bindi on that face, that character.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
He
nice.
he described the whole of it like that, and he said he loved it so much, and he said the writing was really strong. That what brought this output. Along with that, the way you carried it, you took it inside, and you just was on the meter, which was very amazing to watch. He said he was very appreciative.
Right, right. So Rachel, sometimes when we are part of like something great, while working on it, we realize that this is going to be something which is going to be very nice, very exciting, very grand, and people will appreciate it, or at least I know that it's a good product. So while working on this movie, did you feel while working that this is something unique, something different which is coming up, and this is not like a run-of-the-mill movie? This is something different, something beautiful which we are creating together. Did this feeling come to your head while working?
Of course, yes. By then, I wasn't very aware of all the other things about the movie, the technical things, like how they bring it to the people. I don't know any of it. I was just on trip about the making and the involvement. I know it was a very different movie. Different in the sense, I know it's going to be a very true movie, real movie, or something like that, because I was really connected into it. As I was completely connected, I didn't know the difference of how our audience going to receive it. None of it was on my mind. None of it was not on my mind. I didn't have any of it on my mind, not at all. Only that part, you know what, like complete being in the present was there for me. Just this shot, do it, come out. After doing it, you don't get to see monitors at all. One thing. Firstly, when I wanted to see it, I asked the director, "Can I see the monitor?" He said, "Why?" I said, "No, I just wanted to see." No, he said, "You just go do. Don't worry about all these things. You don't have to take any of it in the mind. If something is there, which I have to tell you, I will tell you. You don't have to worry about it at all. You just be free." And you know what? We all forgot about the mics which were set. Everywhere we had mics to capture all the sounds. So everywhere we had mic. Funny things like after they say cut, you don't hear, and still some burping sound or some fear or something happening in you. Everything they were hearing all of it. The sound team, Ajay Narat, he was very brilliant on the sets. You must have experienced the sounds because after the shoot, we take all the equipments, go to the set, go to the forest deep inside, sit there with all the equipments. I'll be with them listening to all the sounds. It'll be very, very nice. Somewhere, one or two of the peacocks, sounds of peacocks, and all little birds, and every of it were captured. So it'll be very fascinating. As a film, I know with the real sound, the amount of work they do for all the sound and everything, I know this is going to be really different because no actors, nothing.
Right.
I know it's going to be very different, but after seeing, I saw it only before 2 days of the release, like 9th February or 8th February. I saw it. I didn't know what was how did the movie look like after it was done. So when I saw it first, I didn't say Rachel, I didn't say anything. I saw only the movie. I was connected as only the audience there. So after that, after 2 or 3 times, as you say, I was also enjoying equally all the performances.
Right. So it's really seems to be that meditative experience, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So the shooting was done quite a couple of years back, as you were saying, and it took time to get the release. Is it because of the pandemic and theaters were not available?
Yes. It was done. I think they finished all the works of the movie in 2019, but later we had COVID and all. So.
And thankfully so, because this is a movie for the big theater experience. It's in OTT, that's fine, but it is to be enjoyed on the theater.
Yeah, of course. I totally agree.
Rachel, tell us a little bit about your future projects. What do you intend to do? What you're working on?
Okay. I love to act. Only that. I have nothing. I have nothing to. I have no criteria that I lacked. Only like this, and all. I've learned to listen to a story after Kadaisi Vivasayi. I've evolved as an actor 2-3 steps ahead. Every day is going to be a learning, and I'm agreeing to it completely. But now, all the nuances is all of it connecting with your instincts and also listening to the nuances and all the details of the story. What to ask? Initially, I know to question. Just like the character in the movie. Expiry date ஆயிருக்கு அப்படின்னு கேட்பாங்க. Do you remember?
Yes.
That character who has no hair. You just go and ask, expiry date is there, but the shopkeeper will say some answer. What kind of a mentality is that? When we go deep into it, if we see, we are all trained to ask questions, but we don't know what to question, why to question, what is the need, why am I questioning it? Those parts, I saw that scene as a very reflective part of my thing. From then, after watching that, all my questions are really intelligent right now. Now I feel really meaningful questions for me. My meaningful questions are really asked. So when I listen to a story, now this whole experience has become a new things. Some new dimension has opened in my listening and listening to the story skill. So it's going on really well. I've committed to a pilot project which is going on. We are shooting it. That look is going to be completely different. So
That's exciting to know that looks are changing. That's great.
yeah, it's completely challenging. Completely challenging. Yeah, it's good. So that part is going on. That shoot is going on, and I've been talking for a web series. They've asked me, and I feel it's okay to do a web series. I don't know what to do, what not to do. So I'm listening to the stories because as there is no fixed guideline internally, so I'm listening to it and I'm open to what kind of story, whatever kind of a story. But the most important factor is the internal connect. If I get that connect, I don't mind if it is a big film, small film, short film, or a pilot film, or whatever it is, because I really need to act. I like to act. I love to act. So, so I'm exploring few things. So one web series, one that pilot project, and one movie. So these three things are coming up. Let us see.
That's really exciting. And this experience must be also adding up to your medicine practice, right? All these experiences you had.
Yeah. I am basically an Ayurvedic physician and also a psychotherapist, practicing psychotherapist. So we learn a lot about mind, how we think, on what basis we think, what is a thing, what is thinking, how do we perceive, on what basis we perceive. All of it has been discussed in very deeper levels in my classes. So that is what we do in our psychotherapy sessions as well. That was very easy for me to apply my psychotherapy and understand any character to 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 see the layers of it, all the dimensions of it, and possibilities, so that the subtext is very easy for me to, as I am into psychotherapy, and psychotherapy has trained me to see it that way. Now I've learned to see the subtext of a story. And when you realize, when you keenly observe yourself, now I found out I have a lot of subtext in every of my conversation. So that part, now after Kadaisi Vivasayi, I'm starting to observe it in me so that it is easy for me to put it in the character and see what is the subtext of the character. So understanding, that's what I told you initially. I feel all the characters, right from any character, from a murderer to Mother Teresa or anybody, any character, everybody, any character, any person is inside me. So that has to be explored. If it is explored, they come, perform, and they go. They behave and they go. So this is how it's going.
Fascinating, really. Rachel, this was such a refreshing experience to talk to you, really. And the way you explained everything and about the movie and your overall excitement about the project and your love for acting, everything really came through in this 45 minutes. And we are really thankful to you for doing this with us. And we hope that we see many more of your great performances on OTT, on web series, on cinema, on telefilms, and keep doing the great work. And thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it a lot.
Thank you so much. I love talking to you both, and this was really a very deep conversation. So I loved it. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much, Rachel.